Hey everybody, welcome back. It took me one time of doing this to change my setup. I know that the audio is going to be a little worse in this one, but what I was thinking was I wanted the video quality to be better. So I'm shooting on my DSLR now instead of my webcam, and in that process, let me fix something really quick so we have just a little bit better light coming onto the cards. I'm literally just shining my Gmail inbox on this. I'm still piecing it together, so I apologize if I'm not up to snuff with other unboxing videos and things like that, pack opening videos, but you know, this is the first time for me in doing this, and as I've said, we're figuring it out. So I just want to really quickly show what we got in the first pack. I mean, this is the same night, so I just opened these not too long ago. Got some pretty decent leaders, Iden Versio, Grand Moff Tarkin, some interesting foils as well, Tactical Advantage, Vanguard Infantry. Just make sure that the focus is actually getting these cards. Yoda, which I think I said in the last video, I'm really surprised that the some characters that are pretty important are so low in their rarity, and Jin is another one you can see now more clearly on this camera, the C of the commons. Command, Emperor Palpatine, that was his leader card. Oh, I'm holding it upside down. This is, it binds all things. What was this? This was a rare. So yeah, just going back through really quickly, wanted to show the stuff that we pulled out of the first 4 packs. Still have the box here. Let me just kind of bring it into view real quick. 24 packs overall. We've opened 4, so we've got 20 left. And so let's break into a couple of these Grand Admiral Thrawn packs. Let me zoom out just a little bit here so you can see everything. And then again, let's just check focus to make sure that we can see everything that we pull. I was watching a YouTube video in between pack openings from somebody that was talking about the texture of the pack itself, something that I had not really considered at the time. Again, I'm a little more used to Pokemon cards and then them coming in like a foil pack, so yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting that this has like a little bit more of a thicker paper feel to it. So random things that think about whenever opening cards. So we'll do the first 2 again. Put these off to the side for just a second. Token with Dagobah Swamp and another Jin. You know, like I said before, Jin Urso is a common, so I guess it's expected that we're going to see plenty of her through these pack openings of Unlimited. Alright, so we'll start off with our commons here. Medal Ceremony. I was just listening to this song while I was at work because it was stuck in my head. The joys of ADHD. I'll put that there. That's my sleeves. Alright, Seasoned Stormtrooper. Surgical Droid. Disabling Fang Fighter. Is this one of the, it looks a lot like the Mandalorian ships, the ones that Bo-Katan flies in the Mandalorian series. Strike True. System Patrol Craft. Syndicate Leaders. I've seen that one before. What is it? Mining Guild TIE Fighters. It's cool. It's an interesting looking craft. Maximum Firepower. Some AT-ATs. Alright, now getting into our uncommons. I think I just kind of spoiled one of the later cards for myself, but we'll get there in a second. General Dodonna. Classic character who didn't get a whole lot of like revitalization in the newer shows or anything. You think that bringing back people like Mon Mothma that they would bring him back as well. But Bib Fortuna, just watching Return of the Jedi last night, so it makes sense. Okay, I think this is the first one. Fifth Brother. This is a... Oh, no, this is still an uncommon. So this is just a showcase uncommon. So another one with art that goes all the way to the edges. That's cool, though, to see an Inquisitor. It's interesting that they are not a higher rarity. Count Dooku. Now, I think this is our first rare. Yeah, that's our first rare. And you can see it a little bit better, again, on this camera. The little foil bubble there that signifies a higher rarity. And then lastly here, snapshot reflexes, a common foil. So that rainbow effect is very cool. Is that Mando? That looks like Mando. It is indeed Mando. It's our boy. We can get a little bit closer now that the pack is open. Snapshot reflexes. You may attack with attached unit. Cool that we're going to see hopefully some more cards with characters like Mando. Another thing that I like about this set compared to some of the older ones like the old Decipher set is it kind of stretches across all eras, to use a Taylor Swiftism of Star Wars, which is really cool. I think that's really a fun thing to do. So we got another Grand Admiral Thrawn pack here. Bust this one open. And set off to the side. So, starting off with our leader and our token. Hey, I got a Krennic. Krennic was one. We'll look at the base first. Administrator's Tower. I think we got this one last time also. So, another repeat along with Jin. Krennic was a card that I was talking about in the first video, the first unpacking, because he has a hyperspace showcase, which is basically the alt art of this series of cards where the art goes all the way to the edge. And then you can actually, I mean, I don't know if you can pull it just from regular packs, but there is a version of it that is hollow or foil as well. So I saw a video on YouTube about it, and the guy who was showing off, he was the one that really interested me in the cards themselves. I should have looked up his name so I would have been able to share it, but he had the foil Director Krennic, and I couldn't remember Krennic's rank in the last video, so his Director. That is good to know. Alrighty, so starting off this pack, Patrolling V-Wing, Moment of Peace. It's a nice piece of art for Yoda. I like that one. Occupier Siege Tank. That looks like the one that's on, I almost said Scarif. It's not Scarif. What's the other planet from Rogue One? Jeddah. It looks like the one that they blow up on Jeddah. Gladiator Star Destroyer. Not something I've seen a whole lot of in artwork. Vanquish Tactic. Who is that on the card? It's tough to tell. Is that Palpatine? I really can't tell who that is. Oh, I think that it's Vader lifting Palpatine over his head. Yeah, now I see it. The feet of Palpatine over here, his hand is over here. The way that Vader's skeleton blended into all of the black of his cape and the Emperor's robes was very hard to separate initially. Partisan Insurgent, I think we have that one already. Crafty Smuggler, I don't think that I got that one already. ATST, I did definitely get one of those. And 7th Fleet Defender. TIE Defenders are such a weird model to me, but, you know, to each their own. that's the last of our commons. Bamboozle is our first uncommon. A trick. It was a boring conversation anyway. Reinforcement Walker, that is from Scarif in Rogue One. Our second uncommon. Our third uncommon is Power Failure with a Destroyer Droid being short-circuited. Definitely got this in the first few packs, so nothing necessarily new there. All right. We have our first rare coming up, art from Luke Harrington. What do we have? General Krell. I am going to be honest with you. I don't know who General Krell is. I think, if I am correct, is this Cal Kestis's master? I'm going to get destroyed if I incorrectly attribute a Fallen Order character. I have not finished Fallen Order. I have Fallen Order. I have not played Jedi Survivor. So, and then make an opening. Another Rogue One. There's a lot of Rogue One in this, I feel like. And just in general, I feel like there's a lot of Rogue One in these packs, which is interesting. Another hollow foil, though, with that cool rainbow effect. Hopefully you can see it. I'm trying to get a little bit on camera. I'll have to stitch those two together. Oh, new pack. So let's get our token and our leader. Token with a base is Catacombs of Kadera. We have that one already as well. And then our leader is, oh, hey, Hera. Hera Syndulla. What rarity is Hera? Hera is rare. Nice. It's a nice looking card. Unfortunately not modeled directly off of Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I think, much to Puma's chagrin, if you ask him. But we don't need to go into the details on that one. He may be upset with me if we do. Alrighty, getting into the commons. We have Green Squadron A-Wing, Recruit, Wilderness Fighter, very cool. A little Hoth, maybe a little Rogue One in there. Open Fire. This is one that I sleeved it from the first group of packs that I opened, that I got the showcase version of it. So this is like a great example, and it is nice to have the two side by side here, where you can see the showcase version, the art goes all the way to the edge, and the regular versions of the cards, it has a border like that. So put those back over there. Alrighty, continuing onward. Mercenary Company. Looks a little Rogue One-ish. By the way, things being Rogue One, not a complaint. I love that movie. One of the best. Alright, Restored Arc 170. This one, this pack has been pretty good so far. I think this is like one of the first real repeats that I've gotten out of it. Besides the showcase one that I just showed, but I think other than that, a lot of these commons, yeah, Rogue Operative, Volunteer Soldier, a lot of these are new, which is great. It's fun to have some new versions. First uncommon, Mon Mothma. I don't think I got her as a leader, but one of the rares or legendaries I got had her on it. That's just, I'm thinking about that. Great card. I love her in Andor. So glad that they got the actress for Rogue One to come back and reprise that role. She's been amazing. Her storyline is so much fun to watch. Admiral Ozzel. Very quickly we'll get choked to death. And the Ghost. I said in the last video, and I apologize, but I have not watched Rebels. So the Ghost is not a ship that I'm like super familiar with, but I love the design. I loved it in the first season of Ahsoka. I thought they did a great job translating what I had seen to live action. So first rare coming up, Seventh Sister. So we got a Fifth Sister and a Seventh Sister, and the Seventh Sister is rare. Saboteur. When this unit deals combat damage to an opponent's base, you may deal 3 damage to a ground unit the opponent controls. Gonna have to definitely figure out the play style of this game. I'm sure I'm gonna have to like look up some rules to figure out exactly what to do with it. And our uncommon, the Force is with me foil. I don't know if I got a foil version of this in the earlier packs, but definitely a cool card. I definitely should have looked up these character names between the last video and this one. I could not remember his name from the movies. I've been struggling. I remember his chant, one with the Force is with me. Cannot remember his name to save my life, so I apologize. I say Rogue One is one of the greats, and then I can't remember the names of the characters. In my defense, it's been a while since I've sat down and watched the whole movie. I should watch it again. I mean, I love Andor, and I think that's probably why I haven't watched it, is because I like Andor so much. I just watched that instead. All right, we'll get our token and our leader. I wanted that common as well. What's our base really quick? Chopper base. Got that one earlier as well. And Chewbacca. I got a different version of Chewie than this one in the first set of cards. This one is a significantly different art style than the first one, which is really interesting. It's a very stylized version of Chewie that I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I love it. It's definitely interesting. I mean, I definitely don't hate it. But yeah, like, it's been a pretty consistent art style so far. Oh, I lost my light. It's been a pretty consistent art style so far. I'm really surprised to see that one be so dramatically different. What is Chewie? Chewie's a common. Still a common. I think that his other leader card, he was his regular card, quote unquote, he was also a common still, which is, again, very interesting to me. So, but you know, I guess that's just like the difference of this game comparatively. Oh, this is a new one, Guerrilla Attack Pod. Homestead Militia. I don't think I have that one. You know, this game versus, so I love the artwork on that one. That's maybe a little more traditional, but I do love the artwork on it. You know, something like a Pokemon, or even the Decipher game. You know, the Decipher game was like pretty notorious for being difficult to pull things. But some of like the main characters, Son of Skywalker and Yoda and things like that, and I think one of the biggest chase cards to this date is still the foil Darth Vader. You know, just the difference between that and this is that a Chewbacca and this is common. A Chewbacca and Decipher is probably not. And also, granted, the Decipher game is conservatively 30 years old at this point. Maybe. It's getting there. Jawa Scavenger. Oh, we have another showcase common. Regional Sympathizers. I did get this one in the first set of cards. Did not have the borderless, though. This is such an interesting design choice to me, and I'm really glad that they've incorporated it, because I know that there are artists out there who create these borderless images on Magic cards, and this is such a cool sort of market to corner, and really give people like an opportunity to find something unique. I really hope that my audio is still recording. I just checked my OBS, and some of it was not giving me mic levels. If this one doesn't work, I will just say in the next one we got some cool stuff. I'm gonna piece together all of this still over the next day, and hopefully have a much better setup tomorrow. I was trying to throw all this together on the first night just to really capitalize on the game being out, and I was really excited to open the box, so I didn't want to wait. AT-AT Suppressor. Oops, getting a little ahead of myself. Wing Leader. Yep, classic. Love the X-Wings. Another uncommon, Shoot First. George Lucas would probably not be a fan of this card. And first rare, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'm seeing, I think, a borderless card behind that. Gideon Hask, Imperial Trooper. No clue who this is. I should probably look it up. And to anyone out there who is a Gideon fan, I truly apologize. One thing, talking, and I might learn this the hard way by like saying this out loud. It is interesting that because this spans so many eras of Star Wars, I'm a little surprised that they don't more clearly call out what era each card is from. You know, so many of these are easy to identify, like the Rogue Ones, and even the in between with the sisters and the Inquisitors. But yeah, I would be really interested to know what Gideon is from. What I'm really hoping for, and I am delaying the final reveal here, not on purpose, but I would really love to find some Shadows of the Empire in here. I don't know if it was decanonized when Disney bought Lucasfilm. My assumption is that it was, and if it was, that is truly unfortunate, and maybe Disney is trying to recanonize it in some way. I'm going to hold out hope that I find a Dash Rendar in here somewhere. So that was our first rare. Okay, we have a borderless common Snowspeeder. That's awesome. I got a Snowspeeder in the first set as well. So another repeat in the grand scheme of things, but I am really liking this borderless card design that they've been doing. That is very cool. So in this set of openings there, I think that was 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So, yeah, I'm really into this so far. I think that these cards are just so interesting, and I'm excited not only to just collect these and kind of keep up with it. This is a set and a game that I do really want to invest in and make a run at like collecting a lot of them. But I think that this would be a fun one to learn how to play. And if what I've heard is true, it being similar to the old Decipher sets will make it a lot of fun. Again, got cut off again. Still have a lot of packs left in the box. I mean, these boxes are huge for what I paid for a box of 24 packs. It's kind of a steal, if you ask me. I mean, you get 16 cards per pack, and there's 24 of them in there. I paid less for this than you could for a booster box of Pokemon cards, and I feel like you get less out of that. I could be wrong. Maybe there's 36 packs in a Pokemon box. That might be true. And so maybe it all kind of comes out in the wash, but so far I haven't been disappointed. I feel like there's still a pull in here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I feel like there's still a pull. I feel like out of all the stuff that we've gotten so far, there's not been like a card that has made me truly gasp at the design and showcasing and hyperspace or something like that. I don't know the exact odds for what it takes to find one of those in a box like this. I feel like I heard someone say that it's something like 1 in 8. So in a box like this, you should get 3. That could be wrong. I mean, I've opened 8 packs so far and really haven't nailed it on a pull. But, you know, then again, that doesn't mean that they're not in the next 2. Sometimes it just works out like that. At least I hope it does. So thanks again for watching. I'm really going to try and hammer out some technical details tomorrow, but I really wanted the higher quality camera to be the next step, so that we can just keep chugging along. But I hope that you guys are into this. I'm really into this, and I want to keep doing it. So, let me know what you'd like to see, and if we pull enough stuff out of this to make a couple of decks, maybe Puma and I will play a couple of games, see what we get out of it, and keep going from there. So, thanks a lot, everybody. See you soon.